Hi, pals. Hi, pals, and welcome to the Disneyland Paris Show. Here's your hosts, Lucy, Chris, and Hugh. Gosh. And now, Disneyland Paris news. Avengers Campus is now open.
Extra Magic Time is no longer offered at the Walt Disney Studios.
Guests deal with 40-degree heat.
Mobile ordering expands to include Fuente del Oro. Sent from my iPhone. That's the next one. That's the next one on the list.
Hey there, hi there, ho there, Disney pals, and welcome to another Sunday night. If you've not joined us before, I'm Lucy, this is Chris, this
Hello.
is Hugh,
Yo.
and together we live at 37 Disney Street.
Just the three of us.
Are we still keeping that
Yes.
little...
Yes.
Yep,
Yes,
that's
we
still
live
happening.
in a special
still
house.
happening.
That's
next
still
to,
happening.
Just next to Goofy Lane and Daisy Duck cul-de-sac.
The answer to which Wanderlust question Hugh's mic is on, it was just a little bit quiet.
I just want to say, before we even started, Daisy was one of the first people in the chat, and she got me very excited because she's watching from her hotel room, getting ready to go on. Was it the Eurostar? The chat's gone up since then. And her Tiki Cup t-shirt arrived in time. So there will be 37 Disney Street merchandise sauntering around the parks.
Can you hear me
this
okay
week.
now?
That's good
Yes.
to know.
That was for me, really. I'm going to listen back on here.
You are very quiet.
Makes a nice change. Am I right, Chris?
Oh, well. You're just talking to your microphone, please.
Yeah,
would
I'm
you?
a bit quiet, I think.
But talking to your microphone. You just sat there silently.
I'm sitting...
Right,
and
now angle the
talking-
microphone up to your mouth as well.
Well, like this.
Hello.
Right. If the sound check is complete,
Well, it'll do.
should we do a little howdy do to our lovely folks there in the chat? We've got lots already,
Ooh, I'll press my button.
and many very early people.
Who are they? All aboard, please.
You looked almost too casual about that. I was worried.
I want to say a big thank you to Lewis, who was first in the chat. Congratulations, Lewis.
Well done, Lewis.
And hi to
Today's
Daisy,
winner.
who's watching from the hotel room in London, ready to go to DLP. You've already said this, haven't you, Lucy?
Yep.
In the Tiki Cup t-shirts. Well, maybe not wearing them, but they have them. The Dunn family's here. Anne's here. Kelfie, John, Emma, Hannah, Helen, Wits Wanderlust, Mike, Pauline, David, Emma, another Emma, Claire, Spare Claire, Mark, Lauren, Magical by Sarah. Who is Nate? Question mark. Andrew, Lee, Aaron, and that's it. Did I miss
Wow.
anyone? Let me know.
Probably.
Yay! Oh, this is so lovely. This is so nice to have you joining us again on a Sunday night. I wonder how many people have to get in the chat before we stop being able
Well.
to read them by name. We're not there yet, though, so please keep hopping on and saying hello for us. We do enjoy to see and hear from you. We've got a few listener questions and trip reports and comments, and somebody's got a rather nice offer for someone as well, haven't they?
yeah.
Listeners got a nice little hack for you. But what happens first?
Well, Hugh's got lots of stuff over there, and I'm intrigued by it. Are we ready for this now?
Yes, because one of them is melting.
Excellent. In which case, everybody get your cups that they're ready.
Get your cups out.
Hey, ole, it's showtime! All together! Your tiki 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 cup in your tiki 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 cup. Well, you made yourself a beverage, now drink it up from your tiki 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 cup.
Listeners, Chris just played a montage. If you can call two photographs, flipping back and forth of listeners' tiki cups.
That's Pauline Stott's and Lee's as well.
Yeah.
But if anyone
Lee
wants
Hampson's
to
tiki
send
cups.
pictures of your tiki cups
Well,
or your beverage of choice.
One of them's a coconut, and I want that one. And
Yeah.
the other one was it a Mickey one?
It was a Mickey one, yeah.
Yeah.
Whilst
Mickey
watching our
Turvey.
show,
Lovely
it's
stuff.
got some very
Well,
good-looking people on there.
then
as
you
well.
will join the montage next week, and I don't know why Hugh calling it a montage tickled me so much, but it did.
it's more like a collage, wasn't it? Chris,
Yeah.
today you'll be having this mildly alcoholic beverage
Ooh.
called, it's a slushy. It's called On the
Ooh.
Beach.
That sounds
Because,
amazing.
as Bob Sangwell said, no
No
sex,
sex.
please, we're British.
This is
Yeah,
this is nice and
me and Lucy had some pina colada ones of that last night. But Lucy, you today are going to have this ready-to-drink pina colada cocktail from
that sounds good as well.
Iceland, 2 for £5.50. I was surprised when I went to the till because I thought, ooh, £4 each. Go on then, at a stretch, I'll get Blue Lagoon and pina colada. And she said it's £5.50. I snuck back into the shop with my shopping bag to check, and it was on offer. I'm having, in honour of Disneyland Paris, even though the machine never works, a blue raspberry slushy.
Oh.
And I'm going to put Blue Lagoon in mine. So, we're all going to be pretty jolly today, aren't we?
Well, I do. Well, it's 4%, and I'm not pouring much because I declared.
I declare
2 weeks ago today, I hadn't drunk in about 3 years, not really, and I decided to have a glass of wine on the show. You guys saw me fall off the wagon.
Mm-hmm.
Not had any since. But I do love pina colada, and when we go out, I have a virgin colada. That is my favourite drink. Without alcohol. And then when Hugh offered this, I think it's like an alcopop, really. I thought, go on then.
Aaron's saying I'm definitely going to have to be on the lookout for a good tiki cup at the back. At Paris, the closest thing I found to a tiki cup is there's a Lion King, almost like a totem, a stack of characters.
Yeah.
Because
there was an up one of those, wasn't there?
Yes, there was.
That was really nice.
Yeah.
That was lovely.
But because I'm not a fan of the Lion King, well, I'm not a massive fan. I've avoided buying it. There was also one day there was a special cup, wasn't there? Do you remember one year was it the Lion King festival and people who were staying in was it the Disneyland Hotel were getting this cup, and I was saying I want that cup, and I wasn't allowed that cup.
No.
If you'd like your tiki cup to feature on the show, then just tweet a picture of it to us with the hashtag What's in your tiki cup, and I'll pick it up. And we'll stick it in the show next week.
Yeah.
You went all mid-Atlantic then, you know.
This is fizzy, Lucy.
Is it? Right,
This is tasty.
It's fizzy. Right. The coconut one was from One Below, which is a discount shop.
There we go.
Let's talk news, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Now, this is one of those news weeks when there is a behemoth of news that is the Avengers Campus is now open, and that has got a lot of subplots to it.
Do it ever.
All the other news started to kind of pale in comparison, so I haven't got much. Now, there is new merchandise.
Mine's frozen.
Right, just hang on a second, everyone. We just need to wait for Hugh to get his slushy out into his tiki cup.
I can talk over
Magical
that.
by Sarah said I'm winning, but mine's frozen solid, so I'm losing.
Yeah, so there's new merchandise. There's an update of there's renovations. There's some
queues.
genuine action going on in the lake that we might talk about later. I'll wait till afterwards.
I don't know
but
about this.
it's hard to when you dealt with Josh D'Amaro visiting in a new land opening, and then you see that they've repaved Town Square. You think, you know, it doesn't quite seem on the same level. So most of today's news is going to focus on the big guy.
Have you got the
big
news
guy.
about people climbing on that thing?
Oh yes.
Okay.
That's
Excellent.
all in. And there's a bit of sub news to that as well.
Was it Jim Shull's tweet? I'll bring him up for the third week in a row, but he
Yeah, we do love Jim Shull though, don't we?
tweeted about that as well. But that's
okay.
We'll talk about that.
Jim
later.
Shull has he's elevated himself to the point where I might get a little bit blushy if I ever meet him. if I'm
Well,
honest.
you know he
It's
did.
ex-Imagineer Jim Shull for those who aren't sure.
He
who we're
jumped up
talking
in my
about.
estimation even more. In my estimation,
Close
even
enough.
more. This week because I discovered that he did original concept art for Masters of the Universe TV series. as well.
Oh yes, I did see that tweet.
Is
I did
it?
see that tweet.
Is it?
It is. It is.
Is
Is
it?
it?
Right, so in the tiny category of news, mobile ordering has expanded to include Fuerte del Oro.
Okay.
This is
Fuente del
very
Oro.
Fuente del Oro. What did I say?
Forto.
Oh, it does mean Golden Fort, and so I think I kind of turn it into Forto in my
Forto.
mind, but it's Fuente.
I'll allow it.
Yes.
You didn't ding, so it's okay.
So when I read that out earlier, I said it wrong too.
What did you say?
Fuerte.
Fuente?
Fuente.
Fuente
It
del
is
Oro,
Fuente.
that's right.
It's meant to
Oh,
be
it is.
Fuente.
Okay then.
I
don't know.
So mobile ordering, you can pre-order your food on your app before you get to the restaurant. It speeds things up considerably. It makes everything more relaxed for you when you party. It's fantastic. They've had it in Disney World for a while.
You did quite a bit of that, didn't you?
We only did that. We
Yeah, there
don't
you go.
queue, baby. I told you, queues
You don't queue,
not
baby.
for us. So we would only go place for mobile ordering. But it's been sneaking itself into Disneyland Paris. And now it's at Last Chance Cafe, Hakuna Matata, Hyperion, and Casey's Corner, and now Fuente del Oro as well. So from your quick service, you're only really missing Toad Hall, which is seasonal anyway. Chateau de la Marionette.
Is it
which-
officially seasonal, Toad Hall?
No, it's not. It's not
just
officially
always shut.
seasonal.
It's just always shut. Yeah, it's been open
Often.
once when we've been
Oh,
there.
we
It's never been
like
open
it,
when
though.
I've been there.
And it was great.
Chateau de la Marionnette, Bella Notte, Colonel Haffy's. Off the top of my head, those are the only ones, the quick service ones that don't have it now. I think Chateau de la Marionnette will be next because they've got quite a limited menu.
And the queue in there,
And
man.
it is an awful queue, so that would make a lot of sense.
What about the studios? Nothing there.
Nothing there as yet. But you only
Really?
really had Studio One as your quick service in
Yeah.
recent
True,
times,
true.
didn't you? Obviously we've now got Stark Factory as well. Ooh, and
Exciting.
the Super Cafe. Is that what it is?
Super Diner,
Super
is it?
Diner. The Super Diner.
The super stuck right out the way near Nothing Diner.
Yeah, but that's why it's good. That's why we used to go there when it was Café de la Cascadeuse. It was because it was just
Out
around
of
the
the way.
corner and nobody knew about it. And it went nice.
David says Toad Hall was open today. Still didn't go, though.
Well,
I like some Today news. That's good.
I mean, with summer holidays now, so if it's going to be seasonally opened, it's going to be seasonally open now, isn't it? We would hope. And I would recommend it, and I would recommend getting there. I think it opens about 11:30 when we've gone, because we were the first people to go. We've done it twice, I think, and sit in the back room, and it's really just chilled and
We had
quiet.
it,
and
yeah, we
nice.
had it all to ourselves,
Oh.
that kind of conservatory.
It is
area.
très bien.
Lovely.
So this is good news. Do you know what I was thinking when I was writing this? I just want to share my random Disneyland Paris thoughts. Is we'd said we were going to try and eat places we've never been before. Told you before about my tomato allergy means that we've never been to Bella Notte, and I was like, and we wanted to go to Fuente del Oro as well. And as I was writing it, I thought, oh, but I just want to go to Hakuna Matata. And that really surprised my own brain in thinking that I realised what I'm really craving is Hakuna Matata. And I don't really want to go anywhere else. I'm a creature of habit.
I like Hakuna Matata.
What's your favourite quick service in Disneyland Paris, guys? Obviously, the runner-up then is Lucky Nugget, but it's not really a quick service if we're honest. Right, I'm moving on. 40-degree heat wave.
Wow.
We all had it here, didn't we?
We did.
We did.
It was hot.
We in Yorkshire, we got up to 39 degrees. I do believe if you were down south that you got up to 41. Am I correct? Oh, we're getting some answers to the previous question. This is the problem. I end up sounding a little bit, what's the word? Schizophrenic, because I'm answering questions that for 10 minutes ago.
It's fine for the people who are watching live and can see all the chat. But
Yeah.
for anybody else,
Yes,
it's a
it
bit
gets weird.
confusing.
We'll come back to people's recommendations for quick service. But yeah, it was 40-degree heat. They modified the parades as they often do. We've been there when they've modified parades for extremely hot weather. But they did something I've not seen before, which is they were laying out, just on the ground, perforated fire hoses that were just kind of spraying up in the air. You know, fire hoses with holes every 6 inches.
Oh, yeah. That's magic, that. What about... That's the magic, isn't it? The magic of Disney. Perforated fire hoses.
I know it might not be a highly themed and imagineered fire hose, but my God, you wouldn't care at the time, would you? So that looked fun. People were jumping in and out of it. But yeah, do you know what? I've not much else to say than that. They modified the parades and they stuck fire hoses out, but I just want to kind of give a slow clap to anyone who was there last Monday and Tuesday. It's like, that is dedication to your park. I admire you greatly. I sat in my darkened bedroom for most of the day.
I'm cutting this open. It's
Cancelled my dance classes. Are you still dealing with that slushy?
Aaron says they still haven't really explored the quick service restaurant at DLP. I've been to Casey's and the Hyperion Cafe, but that's about it.
Hyperion's not the best, but it's
No.
the biggest, and it opens the longest. It opens first and it closes last, so it is a safe bet. I wouldn't dissuade anyone from going to Hyperion because it's easy.
Wit says Casey's was awful. We went there last time and I enjoyed the hot dogs. I love the way the place looks, particularly the back room that kind of feels like a London pub, in
Yeah.
actual fact.
Yeah, it does.
But We talked when I did my trip report from last time I went, which obviously was 2.5 years ago now. But the big problem that I had with that place was that everybody's ordering coffee, and so the queuing was just ridiculous. It wasn't a quick service.
That age-old problem.
But mobile ordering
Would make things
should
an
cure
awful lot
that.
easier. Yeah, far better. Yeah.
we hope. So Pizza Outpost, somebody said, I think it was Caitlin.
I think it was Magical by Sarah.
Magical by Sarah said Pizza Outpost. We like the Pizza Outpost, Colonel Hathis, for the little area out back. It's got like this little oasis thing with a waterfall. We tell everybody to go there. And to be fair, I had a salad there, and it was one of those pre-packed salads, and it was a bit dodge. And then you just have like puffy pizza and stuff. So I wouldn't say the food's amazing. Like, that's why we like Hakuna Matata, because the food is really unusual and great. However, the atmosphere, we will continue to go back to Pizza Outpost.
The back of that though, that is like your secret spot, and in
know.
that it's not a secret spot because you tell everybody
I
about
know.
it.
I
all
don't
the
tell
fucking
anybody.
time.
I don't think we've
Anymore.
quite got the reach to, create a rush. If only.
Yeah, can you imagine if we like the inside was quite empty, so we thought, we'll check out the back, and it was full. But then everyone, it would only be full because everyone knew us. We get a hero's welcome.
Yeah, we would.
Oh, like a party, wouldn't it?
Or they'd
Just for you guys.
all be angry saying, "You said it'd be quiet." This is delicious. This raspberry slushy, which was £1, and this Blue Lagoon from Paradise Bay that I got at Iceland.
This is really hard to drink.
Delicious.
This tastes like an Alcapop from 2002 Hull University Union.
Put some dark berry tango in it, Chris. It'll liven it up for you.
Do you know what I might do? I might do that because it has gone straight to my head. That 4%.
Is it?
Yeah, straight there.
Chris is
And
going to be.
I've got to drive back to my wing.
He's going to be
afterwards.
wacky. Yeah.
Right, Extra Magic Time is no longer offered at Walt Disney Studios. So this, of course, is in response to them opening Avengers Campus. It just wasn't the whole point of having the Extra Magic Time in both parks was to distribute crowds evenly. They did do it in the past where it was only Disneyland Park, but what they found is that was too much of a suck early on, and so that's why they do it in both. They've obviously decided that Avengers Campus itself is enough of a draw early in the morning for guests that they don't need the Extra Magic Time, and also it would probably unfairly advantage the hotel guests in a situation where they're actually queuing to get into areas of the park, I presume.
Do you think it's for now?
I presume it's for now. I mean, a year down the line, you'll get back to the disadvantage rather than the advantage again, in that you won't be having evenly distributed crowds, will you? Which is why they did it in the first place. It is already, from what we've seen and heard, impacting rope drop during Extra Magic Time at Disneyland Paris Park. So that might be something worth considering if you're planning on doing it. Not that it would stop me doing it, but I might just... It's nice to be prepared for it not to be as quiet as usual during Extra Magic Time. Having said that, Disneyland Park always got a lot more business during Extra Magic Time than the studios did.
I wonder why that is.
Indeed. So... I don't know how huge the difference would be, but just be prepared that everyone's going to be going to Disneyland Park now. Having said that, I have heard that, for a couple of months now, they've had a lot more open during Extra Magic Time than they did in the days of yore. Like, they've been able to open anything they want to be fair, but whenever we've done it, Frontierland hasn't been open, and I think that's kind of standard. They do Discoveryland and Fantasyland, and then you can't get into Pirates of the Caribbean, you can't get onto Big Thunder Mountain. But I do know that Big Thunder Mountain's been included at least for several weeks now. So
Well, it was included when I was there last time.
Was it?
Yeah.
It's never been included when we've gone, has it?
No. But
It must be seasonal.
Maybe, yeah.
Can you even walk around there?
No, it's blocked.
Because it'd be nice just to walk around there, wouldn't it? Caitlin's saying, and I like it when Americans say this, 40 Celsius is hot, even by my southern US standards. It was hot.
It was
Well,
hot.
just
But I liked it. It was fun.
Just to have a moan, Caitlin, we don't have the infrastructure for it either. I mean, it's hot by your standards, but we don't have air conditioning.
Yeah.
We don't
Man.
The paving gets sticky.
People were loving the it's called summer, and then other countries were going like, Australians were saying, oh, get over yourselves, you call that hot, our chickens lay hard boiled eggs, and it's like, do you know when you wake up at 5 a.m. and you say, oh, I'm really tired, I had to get up at 5, someone always appears as if from nowhere and goes, I had to get up at 2:45 this morning, as if 5 isn't early. 40's hot. No matter where you're from, and if you've had 50, 40's still hot.
And it was bad.
Oh, you must be grumpy.
I haven't been able to use that for a while.
High five for that, Chris. High five. Good timing.
I've missed Grumpy Hugh.
Yeah, it was gross. Now, having said that, I've just said we don't have the infrastructure here in Yorkshire. They do in Disneyland Paris. I don't want anyone to be concerned that they might go over there and they don't have air conditioning. They're totally set up for it. They tend to have hotter summers than we do anyway.
Well, you say that, but David Wilson just said in the chat that they ran out of suntan lotion today, so they were sending people to the train station for it.
Oh, well.
Oh no! Leaving the Disney bubble and being like, what do you want? Can I buy this? No.
Don't go to Disneyland Paris in the summer without suntan lotion. Don't arrive at the park. I know sometimes that happens, but go be prepared. Be a Boy Scout.
You're gonna be eating humble pie if we run out on our next trip.
That's true. That's true.
I have to say, by the way, the fact that I bought a filter for my 1,000-litre paddling pool. And
you love that.
I know, and I've been treating it with chlorine and algicide and stuff for the last few weeks. Really came into its own this week.
Oh, smugness.
It was a plunge and a half on Tuesday. It was a wonderful, wonderful thing. I've also discovered, by the way, because it's circular, I'm just going to tell you this, nothing at all to do with Disney, but if you want a bit of fun with your kids in a big circular pool, you just start spinning yourself, like pulling yourself round and round and round in circles, and you build your own rapids.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
That sounds about right, yeah.
So good. Yeah. Anyway,
right.
Go on. What were we talking about again?
We're on to the big guy.
Oh, yeah.
The elephant in the park is Avengers Campus is now open.
It is. Did you see? I tweeted the wait times when it opened and the wait times in the middle of the day and the end of the day.
You did. It's very interesting. To be fair, DLP report said it was 110-minute posted because, sorry, let me backtrack a little. What they've done is you actually have to queue to get into that area of the park. This, again, we presume is temporary. In my opinion, it looks horrendous. Have you seen the snakebacks?
But Pluto's there.
They've done really well. They've got the big screen up, and I believe they've got quizzes and things going up on the big screen that's in front of the Tower of Terror. And they've also got the Fab Five going up and entertaining and meeting people in the queue. Which I really like that. They are very prepared for this, and they're going the extra Disney mile, which I think is amazing. But I'm hoping the switchbacks won't stay there because it's the most unmagical vision. But they really are doing the best. Yes, Hugh.
You ever been in a queue where, we have, we were waiting for Jack Skellington meet, I think, and there was a bit of a delay. So a cast member, bless them, started playing like 20 questions with the queue. And, it's nice, but at the same time, I do feel sorry for them when they have to drag out 20 questions. I'd rather stand in a grim silence.
No, I thought it was lovely. I was up for that. I was enjoying. You could noodle on your phone. Me and Bonnie joined in with the 20 questions. I love Disney cast members and their ability.
I'm not a participator.
Their ability to you need to never take your thumb off that.
The
jingle,
grumpy button. Press the grumpy button.
I know. Pepper magic wherever they can, and they did a fantastic job with this queue. But what I was saying is that it was apparently 110-minute wait. But their reporter only waited 45.
Right, and I've watched it throughout the week, and I've seen quite a few reports, and it does seem to have been quite low a lot of the time. So I know there's been hour-long waits and stuff, and it can get quite busy. But the other thing that I was contemplating this the other day and thinking, if we go on our first day, which we are doing, we're going to go into Avengers Campus on the first day. Are we going to want to go back there? And if there's an hour queue, would we bother going back there? And if we're then not the audience, aren't other people going to be exactly the same as that? Because so I think actually you'll probably find it'll start to die down a bit, and it won't be quite as bad. It's more likely going to be people who are going in there for the one-off visit, because Studios is a half-day park still, even with that there, and now you're going to spend most of your half day in there. So
they're going to go in and do everything they possibly can do and leave and not go back, aren't they? That's tactically. If you have to queue to get in, that's what you would do.
And if you're a Pim Kitchener, like we're going to be, you can go in through the priority access half an hour before you book in as well, which means you don't have to queue if there is a queue. So what we'll probably do, or what I'm advising that we do, is that we all get there for that time, and we go in half an hour before. We can mooch around and get a feel for the land for 20 minutes. So go and eat, and then we can do the stuff, can't we?
Yeah.
Seems like the way to go to me.
And that's the way.
A couple of interesting things in the chat, though, about Avengers Campus. Hannah was saying, I've heard nothing but bad things about the Flight Force ride. Wait times have been really low all week for that ride, but it seems like not many are keen with the new theming. And Emma's heard that as well.
I've watched a ride through.
But also, an interesting comment is, Who is Nate says, Huey's a treasure.
Oh, he's a treasure, all right. He's a golden nugget.
People not keen with the new theming.
Thing is,
interesting.
It's I explain in my queues video, if you want to go look at that, the wait times isn't always popularity. It's often capacity and load times and stuff, and it's a very quick loading ride. It pulls up like a very quick train at a train station. You're already stood there, you can get on it in seconds, and then it literally fires you out of a gun off. And I believe they have several, well, I know that they have several ride vehicles, I don't know how many, all that seat quite a lot. So it does go quite quick. And even when it was Rock and Roller Coaster, it was never Crusher's Coaster kind of times. It was always more like 30 minutes and things. So, and also given the fact that they're limiting who goes into that area of the park and the time things, the low wait time there doesn't make me think, people aren't liking that. Because like you said, I don't think people will be re-riding it yet if they have to queue to get into the land.
I'm just, and I think if you're going in there and you have spent an hour to get in, you're probably going in there to do a new ride, not a re-skinning of an old one. So you're more likely to go and queue than 90 minutes, 2 hours to go on Web Slingers than you are to go and do that. I don't know. I mean, I've watched a walkthrough of it and I was fairly underwhelmed, I would say. But a ride through, I suppose, not a walkthrough. But you can see a lot more in the ride throughs now than you could from the old one, because it was pretty much just flashing lights and not a lot else to it. So there are definite changes and upgrades, but I can see that people wouldn't like it as much. And having watched a ride through of the Guardians of the Galaxy thing that you guys went on, to me it feels a bit like a poor man's version of that, or a poor man's version of Hyperspace Mountain.
I can imagine it would. I mean, we don't watch ride-throughs, but it's a very quick moving roller coaster in the dark. I can't imagine how good a ride-through would be. Out of interest, had you watched a ride-through of Rock and Roller Coaster?
Yes, for what I could see of it. Yeah.
And
the big difference, and Hannah's actually put it in chat, is the music thing.
Yeah,
that there isn't, like, even with the Guardians of the Galaxy ride, there's the soundtrack is a big part of that.
It makes the ride,
and with Hyperspace Mountain it is as well, with the Star Wars theme.
That's
and it doesn't have that. It's got, Avengers doing stuff.
If anyone saw my latest video from Disney World, I kind of was a bit meh on Guardians of the Galaxy, but at the end, I listened to the music, which was Tears for Fears on the ride, and I cry at the end of the video. And also because I knew I was going to get a copyright claim on it, so I was crying in preparation for that too. But the music makes it, and the Rock and Roller Coaster, like, I was thinking, is it just that, like, the physical, the mechanics of that track that I really enjoy? But it's not. It's the firing off at speed and the music playing and everything together. So I'm keen to see how this holds up. What sticks in my memory about Rock and Roller Coaster, having never done it, because I didn't go in it the first time I went and it had just shut the second time. What sticks in my memory of it is the video that you put on of you walking off with a big smile on your face. Yeah. And I want to feel that, and I don't feel like I will now because the music isn't there for it. Yeah. I think that's going to be a big part of it.
I think you will feel that with Hyperspace Mountain because it's so energizing. The John Williams score is so energizing because I'm not a big roller coaster person. I don't want to go upside down. I particularly don't want to go upside down in the dark. And you actually do both on Hyperspace Mountain. But the music just tingles, yeah. It really, really does.
Hugh's tongue's gone blue.
Has it?
Yeah, Mark was saying earlier he thought my lips had gone purple, but my tongue has gone blue.
It has.
Right, let's go on. So we've talked about wait times. Oh, the wait times for web slingers have been really high, though. Because I was looking today and it was only 15 minutes to actually get into Avengers Campus, but it was 85 minutes for web slingers.
That's fine. We'll wait it because Lucas really wants to do it.
Yeah, it must be quite
it's
slow
not a
loading,
problem.
though, to be getting to that level.
Have to go on Rock and Roller Coaster next time we go to Florida. Have to, before they retheme that.
February?
Yeah, man.
Hey.
Dude, yeah, do you know we've got all my first lot of bullet points just accidentally in our general discussion, but people were climbing on the Quinjet.
Some people have no respect.
So within the week, there was barriers round, and now they've put a sign up saying no climbing, please.
Yeah, that really spoils the theming, doesn't it? To put like these little, you know, the barriers with the kind of like seatbelt style adjoining pieces.
I've heard they're going to replace it with some fire hose.
Yeah. But then, like, you just think, did they not?
Have you seen the video of them doing it?
Did they
Of
not
kids
know?
doing it?
Did they not know it was climbable-onable when they made it?
It's a slide. It's
I-
basically a slide.
Yeah,
You can see it as a slide.
it's
They wanna slide
not-
on it.
You won't get much purchase. You won't get very high. It's just a sloped thing. But just bouncing off that, as it were, they've also put the green plastic barriers on the stairs to get onto the little stages in the middle of the hub in
Right.
Disneyland Park. And I think there's already a fence there, so it's like a double barrier. But
Is that because of proposal gate?
proposal, yeah, it must be. But it's just that these things just take away from the Imagineering. And I know the management in the park is in a really difficult situation. But I just want to say to people, this is why we can't have nice things. You don't respect them.
Jim Shull said that he showed a piece of concept art for the Quinjet base, and it had a massive Avengers A on it. He said if they'd just stuck with the design, then that would have been there, and nobody would have been able to slide.
Right.
on
That's the point. So some pencil pusher comes in with his clipboard and says, "I'm saying he, not not they. It's a guy. He comes in. He comes in with his.
What's his name?
He's called Derek, and he comes
What
in.
does
with
it sound like?
He sounds like this.
Is he recently divorced?
No, he's happily married, thank you very much. And he comes in and he says, "Now this is too much expensive. We're going to take that A off."
And he hasn't considered. He hasn't spoken to the designers, and they know what they're doing, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Derek.
Now what's happening? People are sliding on granite.
Yeah, but then at the same time, we have to put some of the responsibility on the parents, and not even the kids. You know, sometimes it's like, tell your kid not to do that. You know, to begin with.
But again, the problem is,
Where does the
you
buck
tell
stop?
your kid not to do that, but other kids are already doing it. That becomes a difficult thing, doesn't it?
They should grease
Yeah.
it.
Apparently, it's one of the few places with shade as well. So that's one of the reasons it's been so frequented this week. Is
Yeah.
that it's one of the few places where you can get out of the sun in Avengers Campus.
I've got one word for you both. Groot. Have you seen him?
No.
He's massive and he's awesome and he looks like a tree and he's roaming.
with
He's
a waistcoat.
roaming Avengers Campus. I am here for it.
Does he go on the deployment vehicle?
I don't think so. He was at the portal when I saw him.
Okay.
But I'm loving this from what I can see. Roaming characters, interacting, rooftop gymnastic things, people in slow moving taxis, and it's like I say, it gives kinetic theatrical energy to the land, which I'm very happy about.
Chris, did you see that park guest in Florida, I think, that was told to go away by Gaston for
I did, yeah.
touching his peck?
I did.
I can understand this.
I totally get that, but at the same time, it kind of made a bit of a scene.
There was other ways
where
of handling it.
He could have said, do not do that, please, and can you leave? You know, just quietly, but he really showed her up. Yeah.
But that's very similar to Proposal Gate, isn't it? It's they were certainly doing the job correctly as they've been trained to do, but they just could have done it in a slightly different way.
Where's the magic? Where's the magic?
Yeah, I mean, like, don't get me wrong. You know, it's unacceptable that she was grabbing him like a piece of meat.
Yes, it is.
You know, so rightly so, send her away. But it created a scene the way it was done, and you know, well, it's like that thing with Will Smith, isn't it? If it had just gone up, all
And
menacing,
said,
and just whispered in his ear, "Don't you ever do that again." You know, that could have got the point across. But instead, he chose to ruin his career.
Yeah.
Oopsie.
It was a way to go. It was a choice.
I love the irony or whatever of that the fact that he's the one that ruins Ben Affleck's career in the film, in the Kevin Smith film that he was in, whatever it's called. It's gone out of my brain.
Will Smith.
Yeah.
Kevin Smith film.
Yeah, Kevin Smith film. Oh God, what's it called? I completely forgot what it's called.
Is it one of the newer ones?
It's the one after the Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Jersey Girl.
Oh, that
Oh,
one.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
In Jersey Girl, he
Yeah.
gets sacked
Which we
because
like, don't
he's
we?
belittling Will Smith, and then Will Smith literally did a Ben Affleck.
We like that film, don't we?
I love that film.
Yeah.
There's something very, very
It's sweet.
and nice about it. Yeah.
Well, do you know what Pauline Stott thinks is sweet and nice? My dunga bees.
Ah,
Listeners, Lucy's wearing some
I was with you when you bought that.
dungarees with bees on.
They're from
Yeah.
Edinburgh.
They were. I got them at the Edinburgh Festival. They were a little more expensive than I would normally spend on a single item of clothes. However, I love them, so it's all evened out.
They're a very lovely yellow colour.
They always
They
get
are.
compliments.
They do. The execs were there.
Yeah.
Josh Damaro
What?
was there, looking all smooth. He's very smooth.
People
isn't he?
love Josh Damaro.
Here's my thing. Now I don't know the ins and outs and details of the running of Disney Corporation, and we give Bob Chapek a lot of hate for a lot of things that are going on. However, Josh Damaro is head of parks and experiences, so as we all, get vehement and spit poison at Bob Chapek, we think, well, there's another rung to this ladder, and what's Josh Damaro doing? However, he's a handsome chappy, and he gives a very good public speaker, and he shakes hands with a lot of people and, kisses babies and stuff like that. And people love him. And I have just a little bit of hesitation with, I don't think it's okay to hate Bob Chapek and love Josh Damaro and not accept that there's a little bleed over between the two.
Don't hate the player. Hate the game.
Indeed. Anyway, it was nice that came over. It shows that this is quite a big event, big land opening, because we don't often get these Yanks coming over to our little provincial park.
People always talk about this park as a kind of forgotten, park that people don't really, the parks don't care about. But
Hey.
you just wait until we get
Well,
that lake.
look. Don't feel too badly for us. We know Hong Kong.
Well, poor Hong Kong.
I know. Right. So the paper maps have been updated.
I've seen, yeah. Andrew Palmer said he wants one, so I thought I'd try and get him one while I'm there.
Yeah.
You'll try your best to get one.
Try to see if I can find one.
Yeah, really try.
It's more
hard.
about my memory and whether I remember.
Okay.
This is
That's all
during
they really-
COVID, paper maps went away, and I just thought they were going to be a bit of collateral damage, and I just didn't think they'd come back, but they have. And I now realise how many people were collecting them.
People love a paper.
Oh, they keep
It
them
has got to the point.
pristine.
It's got to the point now where the simplest thing that we get back surprises and amazes us, doesn't it? Like when
Oh, thank you, Master. Thank you.
when we went to that Moonlight Magic thing at Hollywood Studios, I couldn't believe that they were giving us as many Mickey bars as we wanted, plus 3 snacks and a popcorn bucket. I mean,
It's all free, baby.
yeah, we didn't want any of it because that's far too much. But I was going, they're giving us that for free in this day and age. I couldn't believe it. So paper maps coming back is actually
Well,
it's,
you know,
it's a
gold.
surprise.
someone was asking a while ago. I can't remember if it was on the show or whether it was on in one of different Facebook pages that I follow, but they were saying, "Oh, we're going and we want to make sure we're going on all the rides and stuff. Does anyone have a list of all the different attractions so that I can use them?" And I immediately thought, well, we just used a map when we did it and just tick them as we do them, or circle off the ones we want to do the next day or whatever. So you can do that again now. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's something about the paper map as opposed to the one on your phone. You can see it all in one go, and
Bonnie was getting them, wasn't she?
yeah.
In Disney World, she was getting them as she went in, and it was. I think she really enjoyed it because she could participate in the navigation. Where, of course, I'd been doing everything on my app, and I don't think I realised how much that excluded her. Even though we always ask for choosers and questions and what you want to do, the fact that I physically had it in my hand kind of pushed her out. And so she really enjoyed having the physical map.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. The photo studio, the studio photo shop in the front lot, I think it's called, that has been closed for a long time. It used to be sponsored by Kodak, and it would sell like instant use cameras and stuff. And then it started selling memory cards and you think. That's now reopened as an Avengers Campus pop-up shop. So if you kind of see some merch that you want, but you don't want a queue to get back into the land and you've decided you want it, I presume it will be there in that front lot. So that's something. I don't know how much they could have in there, though, because
there isn't loads from the photos I've seen. There isn't masses of stuff. But
yeah, from memory, it's quite a small shop. But something without having to queue, if you can pop going back. Somebody asked this last week before the land opened on one of my videos, and I couldn't answer it. And it was, will they be doing premium access on the rides in Avengers Campus? We didn't know at the time. It had never been announced. It transpires at the moment, no. None of them are in premium access. But I'm quite surprised because you'd think that would be instant money, wouldn't you?
yeah, but they want everyone to have a go at it at the moment, don't they? So it'll happen
Which
eventually.
is nice.
It'll happen eventually.
You see,
It's going to happen.
they want everybody to have the same experience.
The thing is, at some point, they'll want to up the price of Premier Access. And when they do that, it'll be really good to be able to introduce one or two new rides, won't it? So to kind of make it worthwhile. So it'll happen. It'll happen. Just wait and see. It's
So
gonna
confident.
happen. I'm very confident.
And that, gentleman,
Was the news.
was all she wrote.
Well.
Emma says her mum's got maps from 1994.
Wow.
Wow. Of Disneyland Paris, or just like the M25 layaways?
Is that Emma Sylvester?
Yes. Sylvestra.
Yeah.
Sylvestra.
Okay. Well. Just the reason I ask is,
Yes.
Hugh,
Mm-hmm.
we've got a lot of new Patreon members last week. An awful
Is
lot.
it?
Thank you very much. Yeah, it is. It is.
Is it?
A lot of.
We've got this thing at work where if I say in it, my friend has to say it in. In response. In it. It in. It in though. It in. It in. Go on.
Okay. Yeah, so I just wanted to say a massive thank you to everybody who signed up to Patreon and became Disney Street Pals last week. You're all going to get some stickers soon, which is quite nice. And you can join the extra Magic Time podcast show thing that we do straight
Catchy.
after this later on.
Catchy
Extra
title.
Magic Time.
Yeah.
It's
but-
like a members-only exclusive club, and you get some extra bits. You get stickers sent to you, and you get access to an extra show.
And one of the other things that you get as a new member is you get a shout-out on this show. And 3 of our new Disney Street pals have come back to me with some requests for shout-outs. So,
I'll warn you, Chris, I've had a lot of Blue Lagoon.
well, this should make this even more enjoyable for me.
I'm gonna have a little more pina colada.
Yeah.
So the first one is Emma Sylvestre,
Yeah.
who would like you to give a shout-out in the voice of Donald Duck.
Donald Duck. One that I struggle with. He would say... I should have just done the sneeze.
Was that language?
Yes, it was. It was a full sentence. Emma, thank you. I'll just give you the Donald Duck sneeze.
Oh dear.
Oh my word.
Oh, I can't cope.
Hannah says, "What was that?"
Sarah says, "Go home, Donald. You're drunk."
Are you ready for another one? That might be a bit easier.
I'm really warm now.
Next up is Mandy Wright, who would like a shout out in Stitch's voice.
Stitch. Stitch. It's time to switch to Stitch. See, you need a lead in, and the sentence for Stitch is hi. Isn't it?
That's not a sentence. I hate to go all English teacher on you.
Yeah, it is. Why not?
Is that a full sentence?
Yeah. You can have a one.
It starts with a capital letter and it ends with an exclamation
one-word
mark.
sentence.
Okay,
Punctuation.
alright,
So yeah, I would say that.
He would say Mandy. He'd say.
That's your voice. That's your voice, you.
He'd say.
Do you lead in again then? Do
No,
you lead?
I have to do the one that he does in the Stitch live show where he goes,
Got a boyfriend. Mandy, Patreon means family. Thank you, Mandy.
Oh, that's a new T-shirt. Patreon means family. That would be lovely.
Oh, that
This is my family. It's little and broken.
oh no, he says, he's even sadder, he says,
This is my family. I found it all on my own.
something like that, isn't
Oh, don't make me cry.
It's little and broken, but
I
good.
cried
Still
at
good.
Encanto this afternoon. Just this is Disney related, so I'll say it. Bonnie went to a sleepover last night, so she didn't sleep. So she wanted to sit on the sofa and watch a film this afternoon. Immediately went into a 2-hour nap, and then I just watched Encanto on my own with a sleeping child next to me and sobbed. And just secretly hopes that Hugh didn't see how much I was sobbing as he did his work.
I sensed it.
You sensed a
I
sob.
did.
Smell it.
Katia
It's
wants,
the Dos Arigatos.
Katia wants to know what I was saying as Donald Duck, but you have to go back and listen.
Slow it down.
yeah.
Pitch bend it.
It's all in there.
I bet the CIA could do it, couldn't they? With one of their
It's all there.
audio enhancements, and it comes out in Queen's English.
Shouldn't the shirt be Disney Street means family as opposed to Patreon means family
Yeah.
because it kind of just promotes Patreon then,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
Patreon means give us your
Either way, we get a copyright strike.
Yes. One more shout out.
Oh, yeah.
Hannah Cowan would like a shout out for her boyfriend Ross in the voice of Kronk. Well, she doesn't say in any voice at all, but
you've
that's
said
what I've
you've said
Oh,
Kronk.
she said any voice, and
Yeah,
you're
whatever
choosing
you like.
Kronk.
I'm choosing Kronk.
For Ross?
Ross.
Well, if it's for Ross, then we have to do the Friends Barbershop Quartet. But I'm not sure Kronk can sing, but it's a... Oh, God. Congratulations on your first week being a patron. It won't be long before you're the boss. There we go. And you know who will be there to support you. Your one and only boyfriend. It's nice to have a boyfriend. Your one and only loving boyfriend, Ross.
Your loyal, loving boyfriend, Ross.
Very good.
It's nice to have a boyfriend. Thanks, Hannah, and to Mandy and Emma for patronage.
Yay.
You're keeping the show alive. I will say, though, that alcohol is paid for out of my pockets.
Who knew a 4% Alcopop could do this to him?
Do you know what?
He's usually
giving me a
drinking
lighter
rum
now.
and he's not like
Do you know what?
this.
It's not strong, but certain alcohols do different things. Like this has made me head drunk, but not mouth drunk. So my head's doing weird things, but
You sure about that?
but my mouth is engaged.
Okay.
Is it?
I think I'm legible.
I think your head's playing tricks on you.
Oh dear.
Right, shall I carry on?
Yep.
Right, well, we've got kind of two trip reports, I think. And I've also got a question as well, so I'm just going to press this.
Audience trip roundup.
Okay, first off, no, wrong bit. First off, I've had a message from 88 on Instagram who says, "Hello, lovely." I think that's pointed at you, not at us. Loving the videos. Me and my
Could be
husband
us.
are going on our first trip to Disneyland Paris in 20 years as a married couple. I had a quick question that I hope you can help me with. I'm not great in massive crowds and being in the middle of one. I really want to see the fireworks and not be worried of sitting at the exit of the park. Is there a spot that you can think of that doesn't sit me in the middle of everybody? I don't mind if some of the view is compromised.
I have a spot. I just want to say about the fireworks in general, though, is I love the fireworks shows, particularly now I've got the projection mapping and things, but we don't love the firework watching experience, so we don't do it as often as you'd think we do. We might do it once a trip, and with Disneyland Paris, we don't always do it at all because it is very Hunger Games out there, and even when you think you've got a good spot, some rude person will just move in front of you or lift a child up or something, and if you've been waiting for 40 minutes and then all of a sudden someone puts a child on the shoulders and you can see nothing, it's dreadful. So no matter what tips we give you, that can happen, and it's frustrating, and we're sorry, and you have our sympathy. The only way around that...
So thanks for asking. I got another
The
question.
only way around that is to camp out like 2 hours ahead and get your tummy touching a
Other guest.
a railing.
Another guest.
No, tummy touching a railing, and then you know that nobody can get in front of you because nobody can get in front of that railing.
But they might still try.
Luckily, a lot of it is up, so it doesn't matter too much unless it's a very tall person with a child. Answer to the question is we have watched it from in front of Plaza Gardens. There's steps that go up to Plaza Gardens, and then there's another load of steps that go down to like a little area where Winnie the Pooh meets, and then there's loads of trees.
Is there a fountain there?
Yeah, fountains and foliage and things in that area. Now, the thing is, the trees do obscure the view quite a lot. And we stood there in winter when it wasn't as bad. It's difficult in summer because it can completely block the castle. So you need to find a spot where you might be able to see between a couple of trees, be able to see the castle. But what we recommend you do is get halfway up one of those staircases and then just stay there. And then if somebody... For starters, you won't get a huge crowd because it's not a huge area. So you're going to be sharing it with 12 to 15 other people. If you're really lucky, no one might find it and you might be all on your own. But the fact that you're halfway up a staircase means that even if someone does stand in front of you, you're probably fairly well placed to see over the top. It's not foolproof. It's because it's a very difficult situation, but that's the best tip I can think of. Have you got anything to add to that, Huey?
I just think if you can get around the fenced off like flower bed areas, those are good. But you know, it's prime real estate. It's tricky. I like to go sort of towards the entrance to Adventureland in that area. There's a few little pockets there that. You know,
it tends to get very busy at the
although,
last minute.
Actually,
though.
that does, yeah. You do get people just
You
wandering
think you're
up
okay.
and going, oh, look, yeah, actually, yeah, I'm wrong about that.
You
I'm
think
just
you're
remembering.
okay, and then all of a sudden everyone comes flocking out of Adventureland
Yeah.
and all.
And then they just
same
stop there
place.
because there's nowhere else to go, so suddenly it gets very busy.
And don't discount just standing at the end of Main Street or halfway up Main Street because the view can be surprisingly good from back there, and also that means you're the first people out of the park as well.
Emma says we stood on the grass in front of cases. Is there grass to stand on in front of cases?
Mm-hmm.
Apparently there is.
There is in Florida. I thought it was fenced round in.
Is it the bit around the back of where Stitch does the meet and greet? Is there like a wall up onto the grass there? Before
There's
you get
like
to-
there's the big
Frontier Land,
building that does the control room is there, which blocks a big view. But if you can get just next to the control room, that tends to be quite a good view.
David Wilson says his tip's to go back to the hotel and watch this show instead. That's what they've done.
Emma said she said itty, and I thought she was saying it in from before, it in, but then she came back with it is fenced.
But
everyone climbed over it.
I bet the same people whose kids were sliding on the flipping Quinjet base.
Do you know, I was a Remainer, but sometimes I'm glad that we're not European anymore when we see the way that people climb over fences in Disneyland Paris. I don't feel British people do that as much.
Are you ready for a trip report?
Yes.
Okay, this is the first one then. This is from Suzanne Miller. Hi all, it's our last day of a wonderful trip, so I thought I'd just send a quick update whilst I'm in the queue for Hyperspace Mountain.
Showing off much?
First, thank you so much for the shout out on last week's show. The children were amazed to hear their names and check that they were Leo and Thea that you were talking about. Oh, they checked to make sure it was the right one.
Yeah, they're checking the passports for the names.
Yeah.
It is me.
We didn't spot any elves on the drive to DLP as you suggested.
I forgot about that. That was weird. And also, Chris said, are you going to do any voices? And I went, no. And I felt bad at that night. I felt guilty.
But they're going to keep an eye out on the way back tonight. She says she'll
That's
send
the asterisk.
She says she'll send a proper trip report once they're back, but thought she'd send a few spoiler-free tips for Avengers Campus.
Oh, yes, please, please.
Number 1, and this answers Lee Hampson's question on Twitter earlier, and I think I answered it myself as well. You can use a reservation for Pym Kitchen or for the Hero meet and greet to bypass the queue to the campus. Apart from the opening day, the queue has been okay though. Number 2, if you want the Matrix-style picture from a Hero meet and greet, she says, and now this is the interesting thing, she said, I think you need the top level of photo pass. Have a magical day, Suzanne. Then she came back and said, other notes, definitely get the app. It's indispensable. Keep checking the restaurants. Pym Kitchen, Auberge de Cendrillon, and Character Dining all showed up frequently. I know someone had messaged on YouTube this week saying that they were trying to get in.
I need to get back to them because I felt
princess
really
booking.
bad.
I replied very quickly at the time just to say, look, keep trying and maybe try ringing up and things. But if they keep coming on, just keep looking as well.
On the app, on the Disneyland Paris app. Yes.
She
Yes.
also said the travelators to the car park are down at the moment, making the walk back to the car excruciating and exhausting your feet. And you can't hurriedly build a lightsaber in Star Tours gift shop. Only a little droid. Did I say hurriedly then? I meant currently. I don't know where that came from.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm trying to remember when they have been running those travelators. I'm sure they have, but I also know we've been a lot when they're not running. I think they're frequently.
That's one of those things. It's like the quiet carriage. I don't go in the quiet carriage because there's always someone making noise, which sounds louder than it would do in. I said this previously, didn't I? But I'm the same with travelators. I don't get on them because there's always someone stood still on them, and that's not the point. The point is to
speed you up.
Yeah. So you end up going slower than walking.
She then said, "We're going to meet. We're just going in to meet Captain Marvel, so I'll check about the photo pass."
Yeah.
And then came back to me and said, "Ignore me. You can buy the Matrix pictures for €15, €9 for subsequent ones, which is the same as the normal photos. So it is included in the photo pass. They just didn't take it with the Spider-Man.
That was such a journey.
They've got in the photo opportunity area in Avengers Campus. They've got the cameras,
multi-camera thing.
Multi-cameras. And
That's how they get. You remember all the concept art had people up in the air in the photographs.
Yeah.
That's how they do it. There you go. So that's from Suzanne. Full report on its way.
Thank you, Suzanne.
Yeah. We've then got another one which I just need to find. So if you've got anything you want to talk about for 30 seconds, then you can do that if you like. Otherwise, I found it already.
Okay, right. Continue then.
This is quite a long trip report, so just bear with me here. Okay. This is from
We've got 3 minutes.
Joshua Callahan. Hi there. Yesterday I arrived home after visiting Disneyland Paris with 2 friends for 3 days. We planned the trip on a budget as a joint celebration for completing A-levels, in addition to attending Avengers Campus for opening day. Your podcast, videos and live streams have been so helpful for planning this trip and preparing for the Avengers Campus, so I've put this report together and hopefully help out other listeners too. It's very long, so absolutely no problem. Everyone always says this, don't they? Absolutely no problem if you want to read out only the Avengers Campus day 1. Do you want me to just do Avengers Campus for today and we come back to it another day, going on time? Or do you want me to read the whole thing?
Do the whole thing.
Do the whole thing. Okay. Trip report. Part Day 1. We arrived at Gatwick Airport for 5 a.m. Due to no hold luggage and online check-in, we headed straight to security. Security initially looked extremely crowded, but we were through in 20 minutes and the queues went fairly quickly. That's a lot better than when I went to Manchester the other week. I was in 2 hours. 2 hours in security.
Yeah, you said.
Our flight had an hour and a half delay, but we were still heading to Disney, so it wasn't the end of the world. We arrived at Santa Fe at midday, and check-in was quick and easy. Our room wasn't ready, so we stored our backpacks and took to the shuttle into the parks. At this point, the temperatures were running at 40 degrees Celsius, so after a slow wander down Main Street and Fantasyland, we bought a Mickey ice cream and took shelter in the Main Street arcades. Queues were very long, with queues of rides such as Pirates of the Caribbean stretching outside. Standing around in the heat waiting for rides didn't sound like the best idea, so we decided to head back to the hotel to cool down in the afternoon and miss peak temperatures of 42 degrees. Very sensible. Cooling down as much as possible with a single ceiling fan. We quickly learned that Santa Fe don't have air conditioning. We headed back out in the late afternoon, where the weather had decided to grace us with a reduced temperature of 38 degrees. We started by visiting Hotel New York for drinks at the Skyline Bar, which was highlight of the trip. We felt out of place in our shorts and t-shirts, but the drinks were amazing and the decor was very luxurious. We wandered around and particularly enjoyed seeing the prints of the concept art of Marvel-based attractions. I'm a massive fan of Imagineering and follow the theme park developments worldwide. More on that later. We then had French McDonald's and headed back into Disneyland at around 7 p.m. By this point, crowds of sunburned and tired families were heading out as we headed in. The idea of an afternoon hotel rest paid off as we instantly walked in on Phantom Manor, Pirates of the Caribbean and Indiana Jones. The only queue of the evening was Big Thunder Mountain at 40 minutes. We ended the day with D-Light and Illuminations. I absolutely loved the drones, and Illuminations was nice to see again. I last visited Disneyland in February 2020, just before all hell broke loose.
Yeah, and just after us then.
Yeah. Then it was time to head back to bed, ready for the Avengers Campus opening. Park Day 2, campus opening. It's got titles and everything. I'm sorry, I don't feel I'm doing this justice because it's incredibly well written and I'm stumbling over the whole thing.
No, you're not, Chris. You're doing well.
I woke up at 7:30 a.m. and made my way to the entrance of the studios. The weather had changed to torrential rain and I was unprepared with no coat or jumper. I don't know if that's funnier than the shorts in the bar or... to me it is. Somehow I ended up at the very front of the main gate of studios and prepared myself for an hour and a half standing unsheltered in the rain for an hour and a half. Nevertheless, there was a great atmosphere with plenty of film crews and people in suits walking behind the gate. Suddenly, the cast members arrived at the turnstiles an hour before the scheduled opening time, and more cast members stood behind the gates and baskets of badges, opening day programs for free. Oh. Have you seen those programs?
Yeah.
They're pretty cool,
They
aren't
look like proper brushes, like multifold. Oh.
Very nice.
Gels.
Before I knew it, the gates opened and the speed walk to Avengers Campus began. As somebody at the front of the gate, I was one of the first people into studios, and rally of cast members stood at the side of the studio one, cheering and applauding as we entered. I was then guided to Avengers Campus itself and walked straight into the land with no queues. More cast members lined the streets with bursts of confetti and Spider-Man balloons filling the sky. At the entrance sign of Avengers Campus was Chairman of Disney Parks, Josh D'Amaro, who I said hello to and shook hands with. Cool. As I mentioned earlier, I'm a massive fan of Disney Parks, so this was an amazing moment. Next to him were Disneyland Paris execs such as Natasha Rafalski, who I also waved to. I then walked onto Flight Force, a ride where the queue was much better than the ride itself. The coaster was good, but like his initial review of Cosmic Rewind, it's just another roller coaster in the dark with minimal projections. And also, you have to help them win the day. Spoiler alert.
Oh, no. Hugh, you can passively help save the universe.
Great job,
again.
cadets. You did it. Did I? I was just,
I just sat down.
I just sat here like a dum-dum with a harness on me, like, yay, we did it.
I then wandered to the quiet side of the campus and bought a hot chocolate from one of the food carts. Even the carts were very well themed. Look out for the Easter egg stickers.
Whoa, hold the phone. 40-degree temperatures.
It was chucking it down.
Got a hot chocolate.
Just it was chucking it down.
Yeah,
I know, but it was hot though.
The next day it wasn't, was it?
Oh,
this is the day after.
This is the day after. Day 2. Campus
is
opening.
it not still hot?
I gave you the title.
I know. Was it not still hot? I know it rained, but was it not still? Okay. It's fine. If you want a hot chocolate, you can have a hot chocolate.
By this point,
a chocolat chaude.
By this point, Spider-Man Web Adventures has opened with a 10-minute single-rider queue. Again, a really fun ride, but it seems to have some capacity issues as it remained at 2 hours for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
I then headed to meet my friends at the main Disneyland park, where we rode Lightyear, met Darth Vader, and watched both the 30th Anniversary Parade and Festival of the Lion King, which we all enjoyed. We then had a reservation for Pin Kitchen at 4:45 p.m, so we headed back to the studios. By this point, there was a 2-hour wait to enter the Avengers Land, but our reservations let us skip the queue and head straight into the park 30 minutes before our initial time. Our meal time. The atmosphere inside was amazing, and the best way I can describe the land is alive. In the 20 minutes before our reservation, we saw a show with Black Widow, Black Panther, Taskmaster, and a surprise hero who got a big cheer. No spoilers. Then Iron Man arrived at the Quinjet, whilst Thor and Loki paraded the grounds. All of these characters appeared in the space of 5 minutes. It was then our reservation time for Pin Kitchen, which was a meal we really enjoyed. We were sat next to an image of Ant-Man rolling a circle of cheese down a hill, which wasn't Laughing Cow, unfortunately.
Well, that wouldn't roll, would it? That's a triangle.
Splat.
Yeah.
The large bread pretzel starter was delicious, and it was interesting to see my friend receive a small slice of a massive burger, which the cast member cut up with a cleaver like a roast dinner chicken. At the end of our meal, we were asked to complete a survey about our experience. One of the questions asked was whether we would be interested in takeaway options, so maybe Chris's dream of getting a massive chocolate bar will happen in the future. After that was Web at 2.5-hour queue, which I enjoyed again. I saw Groot in an attempt at Doctor Strange whilst waiting. What does an attempt at Doctor Strange mean?
Maybe the same way we had an attempt at Loki when we went.
He was just a locum strange.
Locum straight.
Thing is, with the multiverse now, it totally makes sense.
Locum odd.
With the multiverse now, it totally makes sense that they've got these slightly off superheroes, doesn't it? 'Cause it's like, this is just, Universe 269's version.
Exactly. It was then 10-minute single rider queue for Flight Force. Scanning Twitter, there were rumours of a surprise drone and fireworks show in the land due to earlier drone testing the night before, but we decided to leave the crowded land and watch from the village instead. Once you leave the land, you have a queue to re-enter and capacity was full. After some time shopping, we watched the opening day exclusive drones and fireworks from outside of World of Disney, which were incredible. The plan paid off as this area was empty with a perfect view with no children on shoulders. After that, we beat the crowds and headed back to the room ready for the last day. You want day 3? There's not a lot of day 3.
Where did she watch the fireworks from?
He
World of Disney.
watched it from not the fireworks. He watched the drone show from the studios from Avengers Campus.
Oh,
from
okay.
World of Disney.
Oh, okay. Right. I thought they wouldn't see
This is Squash Pickle, a.k.a. In the chat, and they said it wasn't Doctor Strange by any stretch of the imagination. We nicknamed him Dr. Odd.
Dr. Odd.
Dr. Odd.
Excellent.
They were calling him Wish Doctor. The Doctor Strange you order on Wish is what David says.
Park day 3, no title. There's no title.
Oh,
I'm disappointed.
Come on, Squash Pickle.
Where's the consistency?
Give us a title now.
The last day was much more relaxed. That's probably why.
Oh, the last day.
The very relaxing day. The last day was much more relaxed, but still very enjoyable. We waited 15 minutes for Hyperspace Mountain during the extra early magic hours, and then got breakfast at the Main Street Bakery. After that, we visited a few shops and took a seat on the Molly Brown before heading to Frontierland to ride the train from Frontierland. We then headed into studios for lunch, and I reluctantly paid the €18 for a ride on Crusher's Coaster, as the queue was 100 minutes and we had a plane to catch. We then got lunch at Disney Village, where the sandwich shop had a surprisingly good value deal, at least for Disney standards, in which I paid €15 for a pizza, the same served at Bellanotte, drink, salad and dessert. The skies then turned grey, which signalled it was time to head back to the hotel and get the taxi back to Charles de Gaulle. Leaving the park was upsetting. However, after saving for several years, it's my family's first trip to Florida in a fortnight. So there's not too long to wait until we return to Disney. That's nice, isn't it?
Yay.
It was a truly incredible trip, and the atmosphere of Avengers Campus opening surpassed my expectations. The land itself was good and felt very alive with characters, although I'm not sure how long it will last. Pim Kitchen is worth eating at, but the other quick service options look good if reservations aren't possible. The only slight letdown was Flight Force itself. It's clear the budget was spent on the facade and the modern queue, as there is very little projection theming inside. Thanks again for your incredible Disney Parks content. I've listened for months to prepare for this trip, and your enthusiasm makes for great listening. Please keep it up. If you or any listeners have questions about the land, then please let me know. Kind regards, Joshua.
Thank you, Joshua.
He has attached some photos. I'm sorry,
AKA Squash Pickle.
I use the same disclaimer that I use every week. I'm a bit useless and I never get round to putting them on. So, but thank you for sending those through.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry for misgendering you earlier as well, Joshua. There's lots of names in the chats and I'm losing track. And I'm just...
And while that was happening, we got
Pina
a
colada.
comment on a YouTube video from Katie that said, "Thank you for your fantastic videos, taking lots of notes."
Oh,
Yeah,
try.
Yeah, just thought you might
We try.
like to know that.
I have one more thing to talk about.
Yeah.
This one's quite time sensitive, isn't it?
It is
We
time sensitive.
We
This
have
is
to
time
squeeze
sensitive.
this
So
in.
focus, people, especially those of you who might be in Disneyland Paris at this moment in time, sat in their hotel room watching, or just about to get on a plane to go to Disneyland.
Daisy's just about to get on the train, isn't
Or
she?
just about to get on a train as well.
Yeah.
The mode of transport isn't important.
Yeah.
Mikey Smith messaged earlier to
Unless
say,
he's stuck at Dover, because he probably won't get there. But carry on.
well, there we go. Mikey Smith messaged today to say, "Hey, I'm a long-time listener, first-time caller. Love the show. By the time it goes out this week, I'll be somewhere in Avengers Campus. Been looking forward to Flight Force for ages. I might even watch the incredibly long queue for Web. But my message has a purpose. I'm flying solo this trip. Was hoping a couple of friends could join, but they couldn't get time off. But I have a reservation for 3 at Pim Kitchen at 6 p.m. on Monday. That's Monday, the 25th of July,
2022.
2022. Yeah, just in case you're listening in a couple of years' time. And there's only one of me. So if there's 2 or 3 people who will be in the park tomorrow and couldn't get a reservation for dinner, they're most welcome to join me.
What?
I'm at Mikey Smith on Twitter, and my DMs are open. Ask anyone, they'll tell you I'm a delight to be around. That makes me want to go.
I'm a delight.
If nobody bites tonight, I'll
Especially
go
at
in
dinner time.
He says, if nobody bites tonight, I'll go in the morning and try and get them to shrink my table, Ant-Man style. Or worst case scenario, cancel it and free the table up. But fingers crossed. All the best, Mikey. So there you are.
I'm going to start asking, he says ask anyone though. I'm going to start asking
Yeah.
people, is it true Mikey Smith is
Can
in
anyone in the
life?
chat vouch for Mikey Smith?
Yeah.
Mike should just walk around just going, do I want a bite? Anyone?
At Mikey Smith, if you're there tomorrow around 6 o'clock.
He's not paying though, is he?
He's not paying. No, he's not paying. But he has 2 seats spare. Or if there's 3 of you, it sounds like he might even give up his seat for you.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like. He said 2 or 3.
But the great thing about it is if you go and meet him outside Avengers Campus.
At what time?
Well, half an hour before, I guess.
Yeah.
Then you might be able to get in with him. But go and message him.
How will
first.
he
That'd be the way to
identify
go.
himself?
What time
Well,
is the
just message him.
reservation, sorry?
Tweet him at Mikey Smith. It's a 6 o'clock reservation.
Mikey Smith.
At Mikey, I can't speak. At Mikey Smith. Twitter, Instagram.
No.
Or if you message us, I can pass on details.
Don't
as well.
confuse it with Mark E. Smith from The Fall.
No. Mikey.
Yeah.
Like Goonies. Hey, Mikey Smith.
Yeah.
Okay?
I hope this works out, and please let us know if it does. Or if you just find anyone. And also, if the people can report back whether or not Mikey is a delight.
And the only other thing I wanted to say was there's quite a few people put in the chat today that they've received their stickers. Our Disney Street pals are getting a set of those stickers that we showed last week.
Lucy's
Lucy
put one on
has
her
one on
phone.
the back of her phone. Wasted it on herself instead of giving it to other people.
No.
But
Decal my phone.
in less than 2 weeks' time, we'll be in the parks.
We will.
Fairly staggered, but in less than 2 weeks' time, we'll be in the parks. I'll be there or thereabouts this time in 2 weeks' time. You'll already be there.
We will.
And we'll have stickers with us. So if you're going to be in the Disneyland parks and you happen to bump into us or you want to bump into us, let us know. And come
Do you know what they
find
could
us.
do? We could pre-peel the stickers and have them backwards, and then if they bump into us, the sticker would
Just stick
literally
to them.
adhere to them.
I like it. I like it a lot. Also, if you're in parks and you've got a shirt, get us a picture because that's the kind of picture I would put up. I'd find the time for that.
Yeah.
Is anyone there can tell me, do they still have that really blocky primary colour Spirit jersey that they had for the 30th? Is that still in stock? I saw somebody in our local shopping mall wearing one
The
today.
retro one?
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Oh, is it that one?
I think Magical by Sarah sent because she posts quite a lot of pictures. I'm sure she posted some new stock in last week, and that was one of them. But I can't recall.
Well, fingers crossed it's still there in 2 weeks because it's
Yeah.
on my must buy.
Hannah's going in 19 days, and she says, "I
Yes,
stand
the
by my
1992 one, the Euro Disney one.
I stand by my sticker Avenger idea from last week. Scavenger idea."
Says I've got one.
Says Hannah.
Right. I'm going to wrap this up now, guys, because we could go on forever, but we have got stuff to talk about in our Patreon show. So if you are a Patreon, you've got extra magic time coming. You've got an extra 20 minutes on the Mickey timer. We can talk about anything you want. I think we might have a few gossipy things we want to talk
Have I
about.
shown the regular listeners our Mickey timer?
Oh, yeah. That's how we know how long
It's a Funko
extra
one.
magic hours are. But for now... You've been awesome, as you've really added to the show today. Keep it coming, guys. I've been Lucy. These have been the boys. Good night.
I didn't press the button quick enough, so we've got quite a long lead out now.
And check this out from B&M.
Iceland.